Hi, I'm Reen Wilcoxon, founder of Embroidery Garden, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how I took one piece of artwork and used two different DIME by OESD software programs to create two totally different looking little witch hats. One is freestanding lace and the other is fabric. To make the witch hat in my Lace Maker software, in the upper left, click Lace Frames, and then drop down to Shapes and choose Cone 1. Click OK and it puts it on the design space. Under Transform in the upper right, I changed it to be 5.5 for the width, hit Apply. While it's selected, go in the upper left and click Lace Grid and Border to convert it to a lace grid with a border. And that's how easy it is to create the hat. The only thing that I did was with it selected and the steel window opened, I changed the width from 3 to 4. I like it to be a little bit thicker. So I'm going to move this off to the side and now we'll create the brim. Go to the top menu bar, click on the drawing tools, choose ellipse, hold down the shift key and draw a circle. With the circle selected, go to the transform window again and change the size to 4. Since this has a tea light that sits underneath it, I need an opening in the bottom of the brim. So you can either go back up to the drawing tools again, or I'm just going to copy, paste another circle with the transform window open. I'm going to make it 2 inches this time, hit apply. Now I'm going to take the two circles, select them, and hit combine to put it into one piece of artwork. Go over again to the lace grid and border to convert it, click on it, converts it to freestanding lace. I am going to click on it again with the steel window open. I'm going to change that width from 3 to 4 and hit apply. So here's our brim and here's our hat. I can choose both of them and set them to be the same color and arrange these to stitch them in one hoop. To make the bat, I went up to the lace frames again, dropped down to Holiday, Halloween, and grab that bat, click OK. I kind of leveled them out a little bit so I could get an idea of how wide he was. In the upper right, click Transform, and I changed the width to about 3 inches and hit Apply. Go back to that lace grid and border to convert it, click on it, and there's our little bat. You can go ahead and grab everything again, and I just want to make sure everything is the same color so it'll stitch in one hoop, and I'm going to right click on a color at the bottom, and these are my 3 pieces to make the lace hat. To create the hat in the Hoop Designer software, click on the shapes icon in the upper left, drop down to shapes and choose cone small. Click OK and it puts it on the design space. In the upper right, click the transform window and I changed the size to 5.5 and click apply. On my witch hat, I created a quilting file using a built-in bat shape. If you go back up to shapes, click holidays, occasions, Halloween. Here's the bat that I used. I just brought it in. I sized it how I wanted, what size I wanted it to be, and I created a quilting file from it. I showed you how to do this in a different tutorial. You can find that tutorial at embroiderygarden.com under classes, video courses. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm just going to paste in the quilting file that I did make for the other hat. And then over here in the sequence window, I do want my outline to stitch last, so I'm going to click on it, click order, bring it to the front. This is still just a piece of artwork right now, so I'm going to right click on it while it's selected, click convert to a run. In the run window, I'm going to change the type to bean and click apply. I want both of these things to stitch at one time. They can be the same color. So I'll just go ahead and select both and choose a color from the color palette at the bottom of the screen and right click on it. And that's how I created the hat part. To create the brim, go up to the drawing tools, choose ellipse, hold down the shift key and draw a circle. With the circle selected, open the transform window and change it to 4 inches. I wanted this to have a little bit of a decorative stitch around it. So with it selected, right click, convert to applique. It opens up the window in the upper right. Click applique to get to that section. Under type, I changed it from satin to an E-stitch. I put the inset at 100. I don't want a placement line, so I'm going to remove the check mark. I don't need a tack down line, so I'm going to choose none and click apply. You can, if you want, change the stitch length or the width length. If you change the stitch length, I may have increased mine just a little bit, and you can see that the bite marks got a little bit further apart. I do want both of these to be the same color because it can all stitch in one hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on the color of the other designs. And now everything is the same color and it will stitch in one hooping. And these are the 2 files I used to create the hat in the Hoop Designer. Let's take a look at the 2 styles of hats that I made. For the freestanding lace hat, I hooped 2 pieces of water-soluble stabilizer. I stitched the hat part, the brim, and the little bat. I rinse out almost all of the stabilizer. I leave a little bit in there because I do want these pieces to have a little bit of body to them. Once the stabilizer is rinsed out, I brought the straight edges of the hat part together and hot glued them, let it dry. Once it was dried, I set it over top of the opening in the brim. Remember, this is the one that has the opening in it, and hot glued it down. I added a ribbon going around the hat, and then the flower is from my Garden Flower lace collection. So I got these tea lights from OESD. They come 4 to a pack. They're multicolored, and it comes with a little remote. You can change colors. You can make them blink different ways. You also have a timer, which is pretty cool. And just set it over there, and it looks really cute. I'm going to kind of hold it up on its side a little bit just so you can kind of get an idea of how it looks. On the fabric hat, I'm going to hold it up a little bit higher so you can see that bat quilting that I added. And how I stitched this hat was I used regular cotton fabric. I ironed SF 101, which is a fusible only on one side, a single-sided fusible interfacing to the fabric for the hat part and the brim so that it would have a little bit more body. I stitched out the hat, trimmed it very close to that outline that goes all the way around the hat part. The brim is stitched the same way, except I also, after I added the SF 101 to the back of the fabric, I used a piece of double-sided fusible like Heat and Bond Light. I put that on the back side, and I also hooped tearaway stabilizer, put the fabric with those fusibles on top. On the back side of the hoop, I put felt. I let it stitch out that decorative stitch, that E-stitch going around. When it was done, I tore the tearaway from around the edge, and then I fused it again. I ironed it so that that double-sided fusible would fuse to the felt on the bottom. I brought the edges of the hat together, those straight edges. I tried to glue it. It was a little bit hard to do, but I did put some glue on there, and then I just took a needle and thread and quickly just whip stitched all the way down here. After this hat part was done, I hot glued it to the center of the brim, added a piece of ribbon going all the way around, And this is a floral element, again from the Garden Flower Lace collection, that I stitched all in silver King Star metallic thread. So here are both the hats.